gosh, you ninth, is that what you said? Yeah. Guys, I'm so proud of you. I see people finishing chapter books all over the place.
I haven't even checked.
Oh, he does.
That's the one I'm getting.
So, oh, thank you. My friends, I'm seeing, Carter just brought up a really good point. He said, Canon has one. Canon has a Dragon Masters.
Yeah.
Bike has a Dragon Masters. Keikoa has a Dragon Masters.
Canon has number 18. Micah has number 17. I have number 19.
So the cool thing about books, guys, is as you start to find other people that are liking the same books as you, you can talk about the books. I'll tell you, Miss Yeager is part of a book club I go to with a bunch of the teachers here. How many of you know Miss Erickson, the librarian? She's in my book club. Let's see, who else might you know? Miss Shoyton next door is in my book club. So we all, yeah, you guys are in my book club here at school, but I actually meet outside of school and we get together and we read the same book and then we talk about it and it's so fun. I really love my book club. We read lots of cool books. So as you're finding people that are reading the same books, like I know Press Start, there's a bunch of people reading those. Maybe Magic Treehouse, there's somebody else reading your same Magic Treehouses. Owl Diaries, there's a whole bunch of you reading those. You guys can get together.
I think I'm the only one reading this.
You are time jumpers though. Man, I can't wait for somebody to watch your review. And remember, as you're finishing your books, you're writing it on your blue sheet, your reading tracker, and then you're getting a pink sheet and doing a Flipgrid response. So if you're looking for your next book and you can't really decide what you want to read, it's a really good idea to go on there and watch some people's videos.
My book club.
It's a good idea to go on because I know John just recorded one, I believe, for his first Time Jumpers book. And you might have never thought to read Time Jumpers. And you listen to John's review and you say, wow, that actually sounds really good. I think I want to try that. Okay, so our Flipgrid is a really good spot for you guys to go. Okay, to see maybe what your next book might be. Maybe there will be one on there that you never thought to read before, and you see the review and you're like, oh, he said that's really funny. I kind of like funny books. I think I should read that book. Okay, so use our Flipgrid. You don't have to just go on there to record your response. You can go on and watch other people's, comment on them, think about what book you want to use. I want that to be something that we use a lot, okay? Because I'm super proud of you. I think we've got almost 20 books in there already. You guys are finishing books in your
20th book.
Oh, so I'm super proud of you guys. I think that's an awesome spot for us to be. Miss Cassidy has had her hand up for a very long time, and I really appreciate that she didn't shout out. So Cassidy, I'm going to let you speak next. You read a what? A Baby Yoda fan. Fan clubs are fun too. Those are kind of like book clubs. Fan clubs, book clubs. All right. So today, guys, we brought our chapter books. We've been working a ton on long vowels this week in our phonics lessons. We've been talking about how to spell those long vowel words. And today I thought we'd switch it up and we'd go back to our reading chart to talk about how to make our reading grow like a beanstalk. We've been growing our beanstalk. Look at it, it's growing up and up and up. Okay, and we've been learning things like we get to choose. Oh, I'm gonna wait right here. Right, Micah? Okay, our beanstalk started down here small, but we're growing our beanstalk as we learn how to be better and better readers. And so we started learning that we could choose how we read a book. We get to use our expression to learn how to read a book. Okay, we set goals to read more and more and more, and you guys are really crushing those goals. You guys are filling out your reading logs and you're crushing them. Readers, read in bigger scoops. You don't just see lots of words on a page and get scared and read every word, sounding it out. There's words that you can scoop together and read. We don't read like a robot. And then readers, stop, think, and retell. So last time we talked about when we're reading along a book, sometimes we get so caught up that we just keep reading and reading and reading. And we're reading the words, but we're not really stopping to think about what the book is about. So last time we read about how it's important to stop. Everybody give me our stop. Ready? Stop. And then we think and we retell the story. So you guys worked in partners, working on stopping at certain points and retelling what was going on in the story, just to make sure you're ready to move on. Okay? Oh, and I have a couple friends with hands, and I'm definitely going to get to you in just a second. Okay? Today we're going to build on that. Okay? Readers do stop a lot, but I'm actually going to give you a tool today that'll help your stopping go even better. Okay? So we're going to get into that, but first I want to make sure I answer some questions. John has had his hand up. He's being super patient. John, what's up?
Put it down.
That's a great series, the Narnia series. Mm-hmm. How's it going?
Well, I just got like so distracted on reading that I was just like reading the words that actually like noticing what was happening.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. So you had to stop. You kind of said, man, I'm too tired. I'm reading the words in this book, but I'm not actually thinking about the story, so I just need to stop for the night.
I reread.
You reread. Oh, that's even better. What a great strategy, John. I'm glad you used one of our stop strategies. Hunter. Ooh. You read it with mom at home. Your mom is helping you use the strategies. I love it. Guys, this makes me so happy. Chloe. So here's the deal. Our school library right now, they're doing some testing in there, so you can't go to the school library and get books, but you can definitely go grab one off of my library shelf if you would like one. I have some pretty good I have some good books. Okay. Miss Cassidy. You what, honey?
I have a magic trick.
You have a magic trick? Oh, you pull out your golden bookmark with your goal on it. I love it. Okay, Cannon, last one, Cannon and then Naomi, then last one. We're gonna have to just move on and hold that question, okay?
What if we read so much that our beanstalk goes to the end and we're still not going to...
Do you think our beanstalk can grow up into the clouds like Jack's beanstalk did?
Yeah.
I think it will. By the end of this year, you're gonna see we might have to extend onto our paper. Might have to like add on to it. No? Yee! Mind blown. Okay, Naomi.
What if it goes...
Oh, and Naomi has the floor, so we're gonna listen.
There's a lot of blood on my band-aid.
Uh-oh, what are we gonna do about that? You go throw it away and get another one. Go wash your hands, please. Gideon.
What if it goes over the world? Over like the word, and so we just have to make another paper.
I think it could happen. Guys, our reading is growing off the charts. I think it's going to happen. All right, guys, I am too excited. I have 2 things to tell you about today, and I know Kennedy's dying to know who wins the Martin Luther King contest. Okay, remember our passage we read yesterday? Okay.
One person's going to win?
I have one person that did more than everyone else, and then I have a couple others that I'm going to give runner-up prizes to, okay, because they were close. But I'm not going to announce that until after we do our reading lesson. Sorry, Kennedy, you're going to have to hang in there with me, okay? Now, remembering what we talked about yesterday, Miss Yeager's going to start, okay? I want you sitting in your best listening body, whole body listening, so your ears are pointed at me, eyes are on me, your body's pointed towards me. Yes, Zoe. Okay. Oh, and Izzy, voices are off. Okay, guys. We are going to talk today about how 2nd grade readers, what grade are you guys in? But are we really great readers? Yes, so I call you my 2nd grade readers. And 2nd grade readers mark their thinking with a Post-it. Okay. I want to start off by telling you guys a couple stories. When I was a kid, okay, I used to have the best babysitter ever. Have you guys ever had a babysitter, like a night where your grown-up goes out of town and you have to, or out somewhere? Okay. And give me one of these if you've had a babysitter before. Okay, so I had a babysitter when I was little, and she would come over to my house. Oh, Ben, thank you. Give me one of these. You've had a babysitter. She would come over to my house when my parents were going to go out to dinner or something like that, and she would come. Okay, she was probably like, I don't know, she was probably 20 years old or something like that. She was in college, and she would come over to my house to watch me and my sister, and she would have this big book bag. It was like a big shoulder bag, and it would be stuffed full of chapter books. And she would pull out her chapter book that she's reading, because my sister and I would be playing something. We'd be playing with our Barbies or something. And she would bring out a chapter book, kind of like this, and it would have Post-it notes sticking all out of it. It would have bookmarks. She would have some of the pages even bent over because they were her books. And she would have writing on the book because she owned the book. And she had notes all over it, Post-it notes all over it. And I just always thought that was the coolest thing. I was like, man, how is she doing so much to her book that she's just reading it and she's reading and reading and reading, and she loves her book so much that she's putting Post-it notes all over it. Have you ever seen anybody that reads a book like that?
No.
No, not? You do that. Okay, so she would come and she'd have her books, and I would say, man, can I please have a Post-it note? I would just ask her for a Post-it note because I thought it was just the coolest thing. I was like, I've never really gotten to use Post-it notes. And you know what she would say to me? She would say, Post-it notes are for grown-ups. And I would be like, oh, but I just really want a Post-it note to put in my book.
You are though.
But now I'm a grown-up. And so I can have all the Post-it notes I want. Okay? And I'll tell you, I already showed you guys earlier, this is my book that I've been reading.
It's actually
Okay? And what do you notice in here?
Post-it notes.
It was in my last book I showed you too. These aren't Post-it notes. These are actually even fancier. These are like little Post-it flags. They call them Post-it flags. This just helps it is, but she's letting me use it. And so I put a little flag on a part, a little Post-it flag to come back to parts that I want to remember. Okay, it is a big book. So, I want to tell you, guess what?
What?
Guess what?
What?
You guys are good enough readers and old enough that I'm going to give you some Post-its. I'm gonna go against what my babysitter said. Post-its are not for grown-ups.
I use Post-it.
You guys can use Post-it notes. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Oh. So here's what's gonna happen. Here's what's gonna happen though, in order to get some Post-its from me. Okay? Readers don't just take Post-it notes and draw random things on them. Readers use Post-it notes to mark their thinking in a book. Okay, so are you with me? Okay. Readers use their Post-it notes when they're reading a longer book that has lots of stuff going on in it. They use their Post-it notes to put their ideas down so that they can remember what they want to talk about with the book. Okay, so if you come to read with me or Mr. Lingle or you're talking with a partner, you can remember some things that you want to share about your book. So take your eyes really quick for me and look at my Post-it notes over here. Evelyn, kind of blocking it. Carter, I'm going to stand right here so I'm not blocking it. Okay, so readers use Post-it notes. I'm just going to pick this one up. Readers use Post-it notes to show their thinking. Now, you don't have to write a bunch of words on Post-it notes. Okay, I'm not expecting you to jot and write a whole bunch of things on Post-it notes. You can if you want to write words on Post-it notes that you want to remember, that's fine. But readers sometimes will just put little symbols like this. So they might put like a star to say this was an important part. I really want to remember this part. They might just put a sticky note with a star on it. Or they might put a heart if there was a favorite part, or a smiley face. Maybe you want a smiley face instead of a heart, saying this was one of my favorite parts. Or a question mark, something you're wondering about, like I don't get this part, or I'm wondering this question in my head about my book. Or what does LOL stand for? Laugh out loud. You might want to, if there's a funny part in your book that you really want to share with somebody or talk about, you might put an LOL funny part on there. Okay? So we are going to get some Post-it notes today. Ooh, there are really fun colors in Post-it notes. So I'm going to give you, some Post-it notes today. And I want you to practice. We're going to go back and independent read for just a little bit. We are going to practice growing our beanstalk of reading, getting better and better at reading by stopping at certain parts and putting a sticky note in it. Okay? Now, these books aren't your books. So when I was telling you my story about my babysitter and about me when I read a book, I can write in these books. This one I actually can't write in because it's not mine. I borrowed it from Nona Schoiten. Okay? But these books that you guys are reading are not your personal books. They're from the library, so you can't write in the books and you can't fold the pages down like I was talking about until it's your own book. But you can stick a little sticky note in there. Okay, so you might open up your book, okay, and you might just stick the sticky note with the little heart or the smiley face or maybe a little words if you want to remember something on that page. Okay? What do you think a smiley face would mean, Gideon? Why would you put a smiley face?
Wait, I know.
Yeah, go ahead. What would you?
Something that you just liked.
Something you liked. Maybe there was a part in the book. I'll tell you right now, guys, this book that Nona gave me, these tabs are for her favorite parts. And she actually is part of a book club for this Keeper of the Lost Cities book series. There's like 8 books. Her and her friends are all reading these books, right? Rhett, we were talking about, I think your sister,
No, my
Ben's sister maybe is reading them too. Okay, a lot of the...
My sister